The corporate outlook this year has definitely improved. We've stabilized a number of corporate sectors, key sectors based on the fundamentals in the Russian economy. The sovereign group have also stabilized the sovereign rating. So that would point to a similarly positive message in terms of a gradually improving macroeconomic climate. And certainly the corporates within the Russian rating universe that we cover have managed the last 2-3 years of the crisis very well. Leverage has been kept under control. Costs have been managed well. And in fact, if we look at the median leverage ratio for Russian corporates and we compare that to some other emerging markets around the world, it's a lot lower. So that sort of underscores the stable message in Russian corporate space. Certainly the central bank's approach has been very measured and disciplined. Our sovereign group have pointed that out. I think that has been a big part of the story. But in that process, the support from the domestic banking sector for corporate sector has been very solid. It's interesting that this recent crisis came quite quickly after the previous one, where a lot of those same questions were being asked. And in fact, the local banking sector did support the corporate sector then. So I think it was quite easy for people to get their heads around the fact that it would do so again when this happened. So I think that's part of the story. I also just think that the management teams are pretty effective at dealing with these situations. They know the right moves to make. They remain cautious and prudent about the balance sheet, and that maybe just speaks to the corporate culture in Russia as a whole. I think those companies that have done well with the weak ruble, historically the exporters, are still in a good position going forward. If the macroeconomic situation continues to improve, as we suspect it will throughout the course of this year, the retail sector, the industrial sector will regenerate itself and start to get some pickup. So those are sort of the areas that I think we could look at, potentially real estate as well, as areas that could benefit from an improvement in the domestic macroeconomic climate. The weak ruble over the last years has definitely benefited the large exporters. That's been a consistent theme through the economy. Clearly, if the ruble strengthens, and I don't think we're expecting it to strengthen dramatically, but if the ruble strengthens, that's a negative potentially for those companies. But we'll have to see how that develops.